Been a second since we had one of these.
Here at Tattoo Tabletop, we have a lot of fun, so be sure to like, share, subscribe. It's all completely free and it helps me out. And if you really want to help me out, come join our Patreon. Link is in the description where you can come post and talk about your favorite minis. Now back to the video.
Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop. My name is James, and today title should say it all. Warhammer players, we need to have another talk. So I've brought this up in the past, and those of you who follow the channel, keep up on it, know that I try my best to be a positive beacon in Warhammer. Now, why is that a calling? Well, it's because there are a lot of times where the Warhammer fandom can be a bit negative. That's putting it lightly. Oftentimes, there are things that the Warhammer community like to overreact to. For example, a book comes along and some rule changes and everybody loses their minds. They act like you broke into their home and stole all the cookies out the cookie jar. Like, seriously, like they feel like you have personally come out and wronged them for writing this new codex. Yes, it's different, but again, as you all might know, I encourage people to give it a critical thought. Give it another second. Maybe get in a few games before you decide to say that everything's terrible and all this sucks and blah, blah, blah. You get the point, right? Why is this kicking off again? Well, I went online, I know, first mistake, and immediately saw a few articles and a few things and a few comments out there, people being particularly negative. I won't call them out in here because, frankly, I don't think they know who I am, and I don't think I particularly care to know who they are. But what I will say is that some of the things that they were saying and some of the harassment and bully mentality they brought to this whole thing was just downright depressing. You know how hard it is sometimes for me to be like, oh yeah, I play Warhammer and I do these tournaments and I do this really cool stuff and I do stuff with my YouTube. And for people who know that side of Warhammer, immediately look at me like I'm a psychopath or immediately look at me like I'm somebody who's going to bully them for liking a different color. Like, seriously, there are some of the people out there in the Warhammer community that just need to go away. There are the people who complain about the current edition and they still play it a lot. The irony is not lost on us, right? Like, if you have a good point of constructive criticism to the rules of 40K, the rules of AOS, the rules of heresy, what have you, by all means submit that and or add it to a comment. But you can do it without being a complete and total d-bag, right? Like, there's a way to navigate that, because there are people, when they're developing processes, games, they're building a product out, they'll give it out to somebody and they'll be like, hey, could you give me some constructive feedback? Now, you'll meet people who will give you good constructive feedback, like, oh, hey, I made this wallet, what do you think of it? Okay, well, I like that it folds out this way. It can hold my cards, it can hold this, but it also doesn't really fit well with cash or something like that. So maybe that's a development, or maybe you just need to market different. That's constructive, as opposed to that sucks, you suck, and everybody else sucks. Like, seriously, just check yourself for like 2 seconds, take a deep breath and come back around, because here's the difference, right? So this is all coming from Warhammer. These are all tiny plastic toys, and we enjoy our time with them. I clearly love my tiny plastic toys. I've had a YouTube channel, I've traveled for it, and I thoroughly enjoy them completely. Now, does any of these or any of the books that are over here, they're a little bit further, there we go, they're over here, do any of those ruin my day or ruin my week? No. Let me tell you who it's most likely to ruin my day in the Warhammer hobby, or in the miniature wargaming hobby in general. People. Crappy people are going to ruin my day. Then there's many multitudes of those kinds of people, day ruining people. They could be the people that spend an entire game playing with you and just complain about how busted your army is. They could be people who just straight up complain about a bunch of stuff that they don't participate in. We've all seen that, right? Where someone's like, oh, this is stupid, I hate this is bad, and they should change this, and they should do that. And it's like, oh, okay, how often do you play? Oh, I don't play at all. I haven't played for 3 years. And it's like, okay, so you haven't played this game system. You haven't played with these models. and you don't own this army, and you're trying to tell them what to do. Okay, cool, thumbs up. Long story short, the people that are going to give you a negative experience are going to be just that, people. I personally haven't run into a particular situation where a rule has made me necessarily feel as negatively as someone that I didn't enjoy playing. Those are all factors into it. I just see these comments that are circulating, and don't get me wrong, it's the internet, it's social media on a very real level. It's almost catered and designed to show you the negative. But as you can tell from the light on my face, there's a whole world going on out there. And maybe on occasion, or right now, maybe there's other more pressing things to be negative about. I think there are bigger concerns out there. I don't think you, and not saying you directly, person who's watching this, unless you've had people refuse to play you because of X, Y, or Z, or don't interact with you at the friendly local game shop when there's other groups. I'm just saying as a whole. Usually, if there's a negative thing, um, and you notice certain patterns, it might be beneficial to do one, and boom, two. It's a nice connection that way. But long story short, just take a moment. Take a moment and catch a breath. Just think about it. The one person that particularly sparked this off. You know what? I won't name the exact name, but I'll call him Carl. Carl left a comment on something that was just extremely negative, and it was towards somebody, and I found it particularly irritating. And I can't help but notice that directing all this hatred at this person and or at this game and everything else is probably not a good use of Carl's time. The reason I started this channel was to try and promote positivity in the hobby. Not just on the hobby side, but also on the gaming side. We can all have a good competitive game amongst each other and still be decent people at the end of it. I've walked away from a few games where I played to my best ability, but I still enjoyed my experience. I have been curb stomped by some people who just knew how to counter my army, really put me in the corner, and like absolutely defeated me wholeheartedly, and I still thoroughly enjoyed my time on it. Personal shout out, if he's still following the channel, RJ. I played your Tau at LVO, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago now, and you absolutely crushed it. You were a fantastic opponent to play against. So again, the reason this exists is because I want to encourage you all to try and focus on this. If you need to like write down a method or like a mantra of sorts, I highly recommend it. I think there's a lot of negativity out there that's bleeding into our hobby, that's bleeding into our world. And again, you're allowed to feel the way you want to feel. But when it turns into bullying other people, making a negative experience for other people, and making people feel bad about their models, their games, just any of it without any due course, maybe take a look in the mirror and figure out what's going on with you. We've all been in a moment where we've all been like a little tilted during a game or something like that, but this isn't tilting. No, no. This is just full on bullying, and it's stupid. It's stupid. These are again tiny. Look at this little. Look at the scale of this witch to the rest of my body. This isn't even that much, and we're dealing with people who are just blowing up about this stuff and being just absurdly mean for no other reason than they're hiding up behind a keyboard. Sorry for the rant here, but I just need at some point you need to get this out and just let people know that your behavior shouldn't be encouraged. If you get 5 likes from a bunch of people when you're just being absurdly mean to somebody who hasn't done anything to you, who doesn't deserve it. I mean, if that's your validation, I guess go nuts. But I guess I'll speak for myself and for what I would hope would be a lot of other tournament organizers. I think you can stay home. I don't think we're going to miss you in any way, shape, or form. I think we're going to be pretty happy to have other people who are excited to come play the game, who are there to have fun, who are going to play their absolute heart out and, make strong tactical decisions and try and be the best general that they can be, but at the end of the day, walk away with their head held high more than anything else. Sorry again for the rant here, but when I see this stuff, when I see people try to take down other people, especially in the community that I know are good people, you just kind of have to speak up because otherwise they just keep doing it, right? That's the reason why you say it out loud and why you hope it reaches them, because you really want them to be better, because the moment that they're better, the better the community gets, the more it grows, the better it becomes. There's nothing to me that is more relaxing than having an incredible game of Warhammer with somebody. It's great. I don't do all this because I'm out to win Golden Demon or because I'm out to, paint as many armies as possible, though it does certainly look like it sometimes. I do this because when I played the game, I had fun. I played against some awesome people and I loved that strategy, that back and forth, and I really enjoyed laughing with that person, celebrating my low rolls, celebrating their high rolls, and both of us just enjoying telling a bit of story. Play on Tabletop says dice tell stories, and they do. But the people who remember and carry those stories are the people that play this game, that carry it on to their kids, carry it out to their friends, their family, and overall, the people that bring a positive mindset and a positive experience to all of this. I don't think on any level I will ever be one of the top Warhammer players in the world. And that's okay with me, as long as there are a lot of people out there who enjoyed playing me or felt inspired to get into this game because of me. That's all I need personally. I know I won't be one of the best players in the world, but I'd rather be the worst player in the world and the most fun to play with or play against than be the best player in the world and have people outright refuse to play me because of my crappy attitude or just shifty gameplay. So that's all I have for you today. Again, I apologize for the rant here. If you are upset and you hate Warhammer and you hate Games Workshop, whatever, if you have that overwhelming sense of hatred towards something, you're allowed to feel that way. But going out of your way to just make other people feel crappy about something just because you feel crappy about it is a crappy way to just be. So it's me. I'm Tattooed Tabletop. If you like this content, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Again, massive shout out to my Patreons. I got a couple there and they're absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for supporting me. As a whole, I don't really make any money out of this, and I don't get free stuff from Games Workshop. I don't, I've gotten some products from the Army Painter because they've been incredibly supportive, but I do this because I love this. And so far, I still love this, and I'm going to continue to do this, and I'm going to continue to rail and fight against people who spend their time talking really negatively about the thing that I enjoy or any of the people that I know. I've been Tattooed Tabletop, and I'll tell you this, and I'm going to shift it up. Go play something, go paint something, and go be the light for somebody out there and be the reason that they have fun. Cheers.